welcome. This is a full guide on thumb pulling, the pros, the cons, how to do it, and what to avoid. Let's begin. So, why thumb pulling? It aids in palatal expansion, which will get you faster mewing results, resulting in better facial aesthetics. You can also correct your asymmetries within your nose, your teeth, and your eye area and see improvements in those spots. Where do these asymmetries come from? Two main areas are from the lack of breastfeeding when you were younger. So that actually means that you did not develop proper tongue posture when you were very young, or from a lifetime stuffy nose, which means you have been a mouth breather all your life rather than a nasal breather. Also, if you care about your health, palatal expansion can help you get better sleep by getting rid of your sleep apnea. There's the potential for this. It's not guaranteed, but a wider palate can help open that airway and help you deliver oxygen to your brain as you sleep, which aids in sleep quality. As a whole, the outside of your body reflects whatever's going on the inside. If your eyes are bloodshot, your skin looks bad, your hair is falling out in patches, then that's a reflection of something that's going on the inside. Now, why should you not do thumb pulling? There are a few reasons, such as the time and the effort. And there's also the potential to split the palate, which is actually desirable in this case. But a side effect of it is the tooth gap that may be created, which looks like this or even this with the MARP device. If you're considering thumb pulling, it's only really for those that want the results bad enough and cannot pay for MARP. And MARP is just this device right here. It costs $10,000 or more. And this number depends on your age, your treatment length, as well as the severity. Now, how should you thumb pull? You should fit both thumbs or one thumb on the palate and pull on the bone rather than your teeth. The ultimate goal is to get to 9 times a day for 9 minutes per session, and you could do this 5 days out of the 7 days of the week. Now, to start, you should start small at twice a day for 3 minutes per session. So for forward expansion, you would want to pull behind the front teeth for forward growth of the face, as well as the promotion of aesthetics. But if you wanted sideways expansion, you would pull above the molars, like in this diagram, which has the best chance of that palatal suture split. This will result in a wider midface. It'll make you look a little more masculine, and your cheekbones will be perceived to be a bit higher. Now, what do we want to happen? Ideally, the suture will split, and there's no need to actually thumb pull on the lower jaw because the lower jaw will naturally follow. Then, once you find a partial or a full split of that suture, then you just maintain and expand with mewing. In my opinion, if you're not mewing, then there's no point in doing thumb pulling. We want horizontal growth, not vertical growth, and this will help us develop hunter eyes, like in this image right here. Remove eye bags by pulling the skin underneath the eyes taut, and it will fix any sort of drooping within the face, especially the nose, and help you create that submental triangle right here that most people want for their jawline. Now, I want you to realize the results will come slower than MARP, that device that I showed you earlier, the maxilla expander, because what they do is they expand with screws at 0.5 millimeter per day. But the safer option is to go closer to 0.1 millimeters a day, which is what can be accomplished through thumb pulling. Now, there are some theories out there, right? Theories, not facts, not backed by evidence, for advanced thumb pulling. These are that heat aids the process by softening the suture. So you can thumb pull in a sauna after drinking hot tea or soup, or even after you work out or run. You can also try dry fasting, where you don't eat any food or drink any water for a few days, and this leads to rapid endogenous stem cell production. This one is not very safe. You should always do this with supervision, right? No food, no water for a few days is pretty rough. The word endogenous just means from within. It has to be specified because people do inject stem cells. And what do stem cells do? They can differentiate and become the bone cells or the cartilage cells or even the flesh cells that are missing once your palate has expanded. This last one's a really crazy one. I don't advise it because you could get chemical burns and infections, but someone has said that they've switched DMSO or dimethyl sulfoxide with aged urine, also known as LANT, within their mouth, and this helped soften their alveolar ridge as well as their palatal sutures. And it also opened up their sinus cavities. So do this at your own risk. Now, last slide here, honorable mentions for faster progress. All of these are almost guaranteed to work as long as you put in the work. First, you can eat saturated fats such as eggs, nuts, and raw dairy to soften those sutures. Keyword saturated here. And people are worried about raw dairy because of bacteria. What I say to them is it's perfectly safe as long as the raw dairy has been tested and comes from a reputable grass-fed farm. Next, you should max out your lower third with chewing. This goes hand in hand with mewing, so you should be doing both. Next, you should increase your testosterone to develop thicker, denser bone. This right here is an example of sexual dimorphism between a male skull and a female skull, and you can clearly see that the bone is denser around the eye area as well as the jaw area. Next, you should use mouth tape for nasal breathing every single night rather than mouth breathing every night. This will also help you mew better. Next, you should sit less. I know I'm sitting down for this video, but sitting is posturally disastrous. And in order to counteract the negative effects of sitting down, you should try and stretch more, maybe engage in yoga. Lastly, you should massage your masters from time to time. Your master is this chewing muscle right here that a lot of people grow wider by chewing phlegm or mastic gum. And if they're tight, your facial features can actually grow downwards. Now, that's all for this video. Thanks for hanging out. Like and sub for more, and peace.